Hello everyone and welcome to the RoJoBe Music Workshop. Okay, so today I'm going to be working on this electric guitar, which some of you will have seen in previous videos. It's been a long time coming, this video, waiting for parts to arrive to complete this guitar build. And also my wife and myself have been very busy in the shop and with teaching and with various other projects. But here we are. So all of the parts have arrived. Actually not all, most of the parts have arrived. The only parts I'm still waiting for are the string trees which fit up here and hold the strings down. But that's fine. I can still continue with the build without those, and I'll just fit those when they come. So I've got the brand new tuners and new nut. We have the bridge, which comes with the tremolo bar, brand new jack, and obviously the most important part is the pick guard with all of the pickups, the knobs, the switches, and all of the electrics already pre-wired into it. And I have the back plate which goes on the back of the guitar, and all the various screws and hardware to attach everything. Brand new set of strings as well. Now I've gone with these which are ultra light gauge, because I've no idea how this guitar is going to hold up to being under full tension. I'm sure it'll be absolutely fine. The tools I'm going to need to do the job, I've got various screwdrivers in different sizes. I've got my drill with the screwdriver bit attached, plus a spare battery just in case, and the screwdriver attachments. I've got a 10mm spanner, 10mm spanner, that's going to be for the tuners, and a pair of thin nose pliers, which will be for attaching the springs on the back of the bridge. Okay, so I have done quite a lot of the preparation work off camera. As I explained last time, I've rubbed all the, sanded all the body down. It was originally this horrible blue colour all over, but I sanded that coat of paint off and we were left with this black. Now I was going to sand all of this off as well, but I realised that as it looks right now, it just seems to have some kind of character, patina I like to call it. And I've lined all the cavities with aluminium foil to reduce feedback from the electrics. I've already fitted the guitar straps, one here on the top and the other one here on the bottom. If they get in the way at any point during the build, I can easily take those off. Another thing I have been working on is up here at the headstock. So the nut which I bought, it was too low and it was too long. So I put it to where it should be, and I've just shaved a little bit off of each end, but I've also attached a shim to the bottom of the nut. I don't know how well you can see that, but I've attached a shim at the bottom here, which is about 3 or 4 millimeters thick. Now at the moment I think it might be a little bit too high, but that's okay because I can shave that down. And the other thing I've been working on here is this piece of wood just here that was missing. So I've made a new piece and glued it in place, filled in the gaps with filler, sanded it down, and gone over it with the boiled linseed oil, which I've gone over the whole guitar with. Now it looks a little bit untidy, but this is going to be quite a cheap guitar when it's up on for sale. I mean, all of the parts that I've bought are relatively cheap. This is not going to be an expensive guitar, so I'm not going to spend hours and hours making this look perfect. For me, it works, it's functional, it's absolutely fine. Okay, so let's get into it. I'll just put the nuts away because I won't need that just yet. So I'm going to start with the pick guard and the electrics. Now, as I said, it's already pre-wired. All I have to do is feed these wires through to the correct places. Now, again, off camera, I've already pre-drilled all of the holes that I will need to attach everything. There was about 35 holes altogether, so not very exciting to watch me do that. And also I needed to do it off camera so that I could concentrate and make sure everything was perfectly aligned, because if you get it wrong, it's just a headache. So all of the holes now are pre-drilled. So let's get started. So we've got 3 wires here which need to be fed through to different places. So the red and the white wires have to go through here and then they'll come out here. Now they will be attached to the jack. Okay, so I'll just poke those 2 wires through there, he says. Okay, there's 1 and 2. There's 1 and there's the other one. Okay, so they will be attached to the points on the jack later on. Now this extra black wire needs to feed through into this cavity here. So that goes through that hole there and comes out just there. Now that wire will be attached to the back of this plate here, so that's an earth. And again, I've already fitted this in place. So this is the bracket that carries the springs to the back of the bridge. And as I said, that wire will need to be attached on there as well as an earth. But I'll be doing all that later. I want to just get this in place first. Okay, so I'll just pull those wires through. Now this is the tricky part, getting everything to fit in place. Okay. Right, that's good. So, screws for that. Okay, so there are 11 screws to fit. Now I'll just put 2 in to begin with, very loosely, just to make sure everything lines up. Okay, that's the first one, and one, let's see, another one down here. Okay, so just make sure it all lines up, all seems absolutely fine. So I'm going to put the rest of the screws in, but I'm not going to do them all up tight yet because there is a chance that things may need to come off during the build. Okay, so I'll just put all the screws in. Just a few more. Let's just tighten that one up a little bit more. Okay, 3 more. Okay, last 2. One in there. And the last one down here in the corner. Okay, so I think the next part I will put in is the bridge. Okay, so this bridge is fully adjustable, so you have the screws here along the bottom which adjust these up and down, and that is for the intonation. And you've also got very tiny Allen screws on each of these as well, so you adjust those up and down for the string action, the string height. Okay, that will be in a later video. Okay, so let's find the screws for that. Okay, they're in here, and here is the very small Allen key or Allen wrench to adjust the strings up and down. So I'll put that back in the little bag so I don't lose that. Okay, so fitting the bridge. Again, I will just put all of the screws in loosely to begin with, just to make sure everything lines up. Okay, 2. Three more. Okay, last one. As I said, I won't tighten them up yet because I'm sure things will need to be adjusted on the way. So I won't fit the jack yet because I will need to solder the wires in place. And again, because I'll need to concentrate for that, I'm going to do that off camera. So I won't be fitting that yet. Let's see, what else can we do? I can fit the springs onto the back of the bridge here. 3 springs. So what these do, they attach on the bottom part of the bridge here and then to this bracket. And the reason for those is with the tremolo bar, which screws into this hole just here, screws in there, and then you can use that to wow 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 with the strings. Okay, so I think I'll fit, I'll need to turn this around. I'm going to fit the outside springs first and then the middle one. So it hooks over on there. Get my thin nose pliers. Now this is the tricky bit. Make sure it doesn't fly across the room. Okay. That's one. Two, and the last one in the middle. There we go. Let's just push that one back in. Okay, so that's those springs fitted onto the back of the bridge there. Actually looks quite tidy. So if I now take this tremolo bar, or whammy bar as it's sometimes called, screw it into the hole there, all the way in. Now bear in mind these screws are still loose. They will need to be tightened up. But the idea with this is you push down on this whammy bar and you can see the bridge flexing. Can you see that? So when you do that, it loosens the tension on the strings and you get that wow, 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 wow sound. Okay, but we won't need that now, so I'll take that back out. Okay, so I think now's time to fit the tuners. And again, I have pre-drilled the holes in the back of the headstock because they need to be lined up. So, and as you probably already see, everything is in black. I decided to go with all black on this guitar. Now, when I lined all of these tuners up to pre-drill the holes, I actually numbered the tuners just because they're quite cheap tuners, and there will be very slight differences in sizes and angles. They should be exactly the same, but this way I know that they're all going to line up perfectly. So I marked the back of each, and that's number 4. That's number 2, number 3, number 5, number 6, and that should be number 1. There it is. So number 1 at the top. So we have screws which go into the back, and we also have these collars and washers that go on the front. So they just hold everything in perfect alignment. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just nip them up slightly with the spanner, just to hold them from moving around. Not too tight. Okay, number 2. Okay, that should be fine. Number 3. Okay, number 4. Number 5. And last but not least, number 6. Starting to look like a guitar now. Okay, so they're tight enough just to hold them from moving around. So now I'll just make sure I line all of the holes up with the pre-drilled holes. Now I'm not going to use the drill to attach these screws because they're very small. Where did I put them? Oh dear. There's one. Ah, they're all there. Couldn't see them. Okay, so I'm going to use a much finer screwdriver for these. I think this one. Yeah. Okay. In go the screws. I'll need a bigger bit for that. That's better. Okay. So you do want these screws to be fairly tight, but because they're so small, if they're really tight, you'll just never get them in. So I took some time to find the right drill bit to make these holes just big enough to take the screws, but making sure that they were tight when they go in. Okay, again, I will go around and tighten everything again when it's time to put the strings on, but everything's going to just be going in finger tight for now.